Hello. Welcome to another episode of Fourth and Wine. If you don't know me by now, my name is Sasha from Philadelphia, Eagles fan. And this show, we talk football and we sip on some wine while we do it. I don't feel the greatest right now, but I do have a lot I want to say, a lot I got to get off my chest. I need to let some stuff off. So we're gonna be trying a new wine, and I'm gonna be giving y'all the rundown. I got so much to say. I don't even know how I'm gonna fit it into the 30 minutes I like to keep this show under. But whatever. Keep listening. You are checking out Fourth and Wine. All right, y'all know how I usually do. I started off with the wine, because you got to start sipping, because it's a lot to chit chat about. You got to start with your drink and get this rolling. So we're going to be trying a white wine, and it is from Italy. It's an Italian wine. I feel like I told y'all on like the first episode that I took Italian for 4 years in high school. And when I tell y'all, I couldn't tell you a lick of Italian today. Couldn't tell you a lick of Italian. So anyone who went to high school with me knows my Italian story. I just did what I needed to do to get by. Okay. I did what I could. I did what needed to be done. Okay. But all that said, as I try to get this microphone sorted. All that said, we're going to be trying a white wine. I'm not editing this episode either, so you're going to get what you're going to get. If you hear my dog in the background, she's asleep, but she tends to wake up when I start talking. She nosy. But let's try this white wine. It's a Frascati. It is from Italy. It is from Sulla Frascati. It is from the town called Frascati, which is a few miles south of Rome. Rome, Italy. I've never been to Italy, but it'd be nice to go. This wine is a DOC, which I'm going to do my darnest to pronounce this. The DOC is the appellation. If you listened a few episodes ago, I talked about appellations when it comes to wine. And these are regions where there are laws, rules, very strict on how they make wine. You gotta have the right soil. You gotta have the right They don't play with their grapes in these areas, okay? So I'm assuming the wine should be some of the best. My hair also just looks crazy. But this bottle is from the vineyards of Tenuta di Pietra, Porzia, and DOC appellation, which stands for Denominazione di Origine Controllata. So yeah, I couldn't tell you what that means. The origin of control denote. I don't know. Whatever. But as I was researching this wine, it is 13% alcohol. So it's heavy on the boozy side. So if you want to get a little wavy, enjoy yourself with some wine, pick up one of these. 13%. You start getting over 15%. Honestly, 13.5%, 14% wine alcohol content. Yeah, pushing it. It's not as good anymore. Anything over 15%. These grapes were harvested in 2023, so very new grapes, And as I was researching this town in Italy, Frascati, I learned, this is not a fun fact, but I learned a fact about this town that this town during World War II was the German general headquarters. So a lot of the beautiful architecture and things in the town were heavily bombed during World War II because of the headquarters located there for the Nazis. And the town was liberated a few days before D-Day on June 4th, 1944. They were liberated from Nazi Germany by, what did they call us? The alliances. They called everyone that wasn't like Germans and stuff. The alliances. So the Russian army, us, who else? Great Britain. I don't know who else was there, but I'm sure it was some other people. France? I don't know, because the French kind of... Anyway, this ain't a history lesson. But there's also a lot of history in this town when it comes to the Catholic Church. Obviously, Rome, Italy, that's where the Pope and all them be at. The Pope, y'all remember when the Pope came to Philly? Yeah, I be going off on tangents. Do y'all remember when the Pope came to Philly? That was a good time. Like, the city was lit up. It was a lot of activity going on. People were so excited to see the Pope. I didn't see the Pope when he came, but, that's a cool thing to say. The Pope came to your city, I guess, if you're religious, whatever. But this wine pairs really well with Italian dishes. It's an Italian wine. So some antipasti, light pastas, fish. Your white wine's going to do it every time, okay? So let's have a look at it. Let's swirl it around. So it doesn't have a ton of legs. Yeah, it doesn't have a ton of legs, which is probably because of honestly, usually when the legs are slow and long, you would assume it has a higher alcohol content. But it is a golden color. I wouldn't even call this straw. It's a little darker. It's like almost yellow. And let's smell. It smells like apples, just like apples. But I also looked up, very citrusy, but I also looked up some other things about this wine, and people said that it smells like flowers. And originally, I didn't get that, but it does smell like a bouquet of flowers. I smell citrus and apples. But let's taste. Ooh, it's like fun. I don't know. Like it's very flavorful. Like taking a sip of it is kind of like exciting. Like it's a exciting wine. Like it's kind of like vibrant, dancing around. Swish it around in my mouth, and the tannins that you feel left over, like that dryness that you feel left over in your mouth, the tannins come from the skin of a grape. I wouldn't say the wine is like super balanced, at least in my novice opinion. But the wine is good. It's very strong. Very strong. But it is good. It's a good casual wine. It is not too dry. I would say it's semi-sweet. But it's a great wine. Honestly, I think if you want to, feel a little vibey, but also good to eat, to drink along with dinner. If you're making pastas, a little Alfredo, a little shrimp Alfredo. I know y'all know how to put down some Alfredo, or just casually. Just casually drink. This is a great one to casually drink because it's so smooth, but it's vibrant. Like it gives you it's smooth going down, but it's like an exciting wine. Like it makes me want to dance. Let's dance. Let's dance. That TikTok gonna be going away in a couple days, y'all. I never was big on TikTok, and I be trying to post my content on TikTok, and I just can't seem to get the hang of it. I finally made a good TikTok reel the other day and forgot to mute my last 2 clips. So you hear the people talking in the background. Like, I really be trying with TikTok. I really do. But it's just like a different level for me. I need to take like a TikTok class or something. All I want to do is drink my wine and talk about the football. I don't know about the content and how to make it all cool on TikTok. Everyone has their thing, and TikTok was not or is not my thing, but I use it. I enjoy it. It can be useful. I got some things from the TikTok shop. I got a new like tripod with some lights, and they dying on me, but it was cheap. It was like $7. The thing is, TikTok shop be cheap, but then you gotta pay $7 for the shipping. By that time, I could have ordered it off Amazon, got it a lot quicker, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, if you want to try a Frascati wine, this region, this area that the wine comes from is a DOC. So that means it is regulated. The wines from this region probably are top tier. This is the first time I've had a wine from this region. And the first time I think on this show, I've had a wine from Italy in a long time. I think it's been since like week 1. But try it. It's Frascati Sola, product of Italy, near the city of Rome. But let's talk about this game that happened on Sunday. So Sunday, we played the Green Bay Packers, if you don't know. 22-10 Eagles. It was a good win. Like, it felt good, the wild card weekend. It felt good to get the win. I was nervous. Because you don't know. But there are some things that I saw in the game that made me nervous, and I'll get into some of that a little bit later down the line. But let's talk about some of the moments from Sunday, okay? Now, what really started this game off on a high note was special teams. Now, if you saw my For the Birds, Sasha's quick slants, you heard me say special teams had to bring it. And they got it rolling right out the gate. Amazing. So there was a fumble. It was recovered by Jeremiah Trotter, and the fumble was, forced by Oren Burks. So it's exciting to see some of these defensive players, your third string, whatever, get in and really get the momentum going and get the team hyped, because that's really how you start a game. Like once your teammates go out there and they do something, you like, oh hell, I gotta go out there and do something. Like, it gets you hyped, because if I'm hyped, I know the player's hyped. Anyway, I thought it was some much needed momentum to start it off, especially with Jalen coming back from being injured and going through concussion protocol the last few weeks. It was like electric. I was excited. And if you didn't know, I watched the game at Chickie and Pete in South Philly, South Philly girl, period. But I was watching the game in Chickie and Pete's, and I got there early. So I watched the Denver and Buffalo game, and then I stayed and watched the Eagles game. You got to get there early. That thing was jumping, and we got there at like 1 o'clock, 1:30. Okay? Actually, I don't want to give y'all the tea. Don't be ruining it for me, because I'm about to get into that. I'm in Chickie and Pete's, right? It was a good time. But this girl, she was going in during the Bills-Broncos game. I'm like, yo, why she so hyped? Like, she cheering, get the ball, da-da-da, bah, bah, bah. She got her green on, though, I'm like, yo, why is she so hyped? My fiance, I don't know when he asked her, but he said, yeah, I asked her why she's so hyped watching this game. And I said, oh, well, what did she say? And he was like, she said she had a parlay. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. You want certain things to hit, because, you're trying to make money off your parlay. But then the game started. I ain't hear a peep out of sis. I'm not sure if she ever turned around to watch the TV. I didn't hear nothing out of her the rest of the game. And she was loud. She was loud to start with. Loud. And my first thought is, girl, you came here to watch the Eagles, and where is all that energy? You should have saved your energy for this, because this is the big fish here. You cheering for the Bills, cheering for Josh Allen and all this other stuff. Where's all this energy for our Eagles? And then I'm thinking to myself, you know what? She probably just a some Tommy fan. You know, people just want to be in the mix for the vibes. And I think that's amazing, as long as you not annoying. But like, save space for some of the real fans. And mind you, I don't know this lady from a can of paint. She could own half the Eagles for all I know. I just felt like, girl, where is all this energy? Like, she did not have any of this energy when the Eagles came out. I just look at that like, people just be taking up space. Now I can't get a seat at the bar because, you know, somebody that don't watch the Eagles ever taking up seats. Girl, if you don't go stand up, because the real ones want to watch. The real ones want to be in the mix, okay? Now, let me stop talking about that lady. But anyway, the game was good. It was really good to see them start off. And defense balled out. They balled out. Slay, big play Slay, Quinyon Mitchell, Zach Bowen. They balled out, okay? All with interceptions. We had 3 turnovers. 3. Quinyon Mitchell, Q, aka Q, finally got his interception that CJGJ didn't steal from him. That's a joke, but if you know, you know. But 3 turnovers, and we could not get anything going on offense. We could not convert on 3rd down to save our souls. Now, that is something that's going to make me nervous, heading deeper into the playoffs, trying to get to an NFC championship, trying to get to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. We could not convert on 3rd down. We went 2 for 11 on 3rd down. We went 1 for 4 in the red zone, which you could say that's good. 1 out of 4, 25% of the time we converted in the red zone. I just think we got to come a little bit harder if we really want to make a push and make it far into the playoffs. Now, I've been listening to a lot of people's takes this week about us making it far, and, you know, how Green Bay game, it wasn't a good game, and et cetera, and it wasn't our better game. But people doing it again. Jalen Hurts. They are blaming him for how bad the game was on Sunday. And he is not absolved from fault here. I'm not saying that. And he is the QB1. Your quarterback takes a lot. If you win, your quarterback gets all the glory. If you lose, he typically gets a lot of the slack. That's the nature of football. And that's the nature of being a QB1. But I'm going to say this. He didn't play his best game. I'm not saying he did. But the hate y'all have for Jalen Hurts has got to stop. It's got to stop. I like him and Nick Sirianni, the most winningest, whatever. And y'all still not satisfied. Yo, this team wins. They win. And I get that there are things you got to look at and be like, man, if we keep that up, we won't win. But this is a team sport, and we are in the playoffs. I don't think he played his best game. But let's just think about this for a minute. Last season, y'all hated to see Jalen Hurts in this passing game. Y'all was so over it. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. That's all y'all kept saying. How we went out, got the number 1 running back in the NFL, signed him. He been balling out, almost broke the rushing record of all time. And then you're like, nah, we got to see the passing game. We got to see the pass. What do you want? What do you want? I I don't think fans know what they want. I don't think the media, I don't think the national news know what they want. You know, or actually, no, they know what they want. They want clicks, they want likes, they want all that. But they don't want to talk about real facts. This offense was stale against the Packers. And while some of that might be on Jalen, one person y'all have yet to call out is the offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. I haven't heard anyone put the blame on him. But last season, Brian Johnson was all up in everybody's mouth, okay? You couldn't go anywhere without hearing about Brian Johnson. People had signs saying fire Brian Johnson. People were sitting outside the NovaCare telling Brian Johnson he needed to run the ball. If you want to call a spade, call a spade a spade. Cool, Jalen could improve in his passing game, but like Jalen has always been Jalen. Athletic, running the ball. How about we get an offense that supports him, helps to make him better? I sat here and rewatched some of the game online, and I'm trying to like slow it down and look and see. But like looking at it from a casual's perspective, it's kind of hard to see some of the plays. I might need to pay for the NFL package. I think it's like $14 a month. But pay for the package, you could watch. You could watch like the game recap and see all the plays and everything else. But there were moments where receivers weren't even open. And let's talk about a couple of them. So on Jalen Hurts play to Jahan Dotson, the third wide receiver. Jahan had his touchdown. And that play, I counted. The ball was snapped at 13:30 in the first quarter. Jahan didn't catch the ball and call a touchdown till 13:21. That play took 8 to 9 seconds to develop. Why did the play take that long to develop? I'm going to assume it's the play call. Because they weren't open. They were covered. The Packers had them covered. So they knew, they kind of knew what y'all was running. They knew the play a little bit. So you must be stale. It must be boring. It must be predictable. And this is what we was asking for from Brian Johnson last season. Creativity. I feel like we think things got a little creative because we saw Jalen under center more and we saw a lot more motion. But I'm not sure it really got that much more creative. Kellen Moore came from Dallas, and I'm not taking anything away from that Dallas offense. They've got some good players down there. But when the last time we seen the Dallas Cowboys make it far in the playoffs? Because offensively, they stale. So I think some of the blame needs to go on to the offensive coordinator. Some of it. I'm not saying it's all him, but him and Nick Sirianni need to figure it out. All season, we've been having these slow starts. All season. I'm sorry, y'all. I am like very sick and congested. But all season, we've been having these slow starts. The first few drives, the first few plays of the game are scripted. Like, y'all practice those. Like, these are the plays that y'all practice. These should hit every time, at least. So how are we having such slow starts off the scripted plays? My assumption is that you're predictable. And they know. Come on now. We going into game 18. Like, they watching your tape. They know who you are right now. These slow behind starts, because y'all not creative enough to get anything going. And then another play where Jalen Hurts threw a ball to AJ, his only reception of the game on Sunday. And we'll get into that. But there was little to no separation. I don't know if that's because AJ, he ain't super speedy like Devontae or, some of the other wide receivers, Xavier Worthy, whatever. But he was covered pretty well, which means you can't be that creative. Look, I am so sorry I got the sniffles, y'all. Look, it is playoff time. But I need fans, myself included. We got to start holding every piece accountable. Jalen, the coaches, everybody need to be held accountable for this. On these slow starts and how the offense looks sometimes. Because in the playoffs, honestly, you playing top teams in the playoffs. So yeah, you gotta bring your A game for sure. But let's be real, every week in the playoffs, you just need to go 1-0. Because it's a one and done type of thing. You just need to win one game. It might not always look pretty. And I'm going to say this one more thing about Jalen. Jalen can throw the ball. He had an outstanding performance when we went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. He had an outstanding performance against a Pittsburgh Steelers defense that was top ranked. You could call him fraud all you want. Mike Tomlin got a defense over there. And let's not act like TJ Watt and those players, they're not good. Joey Porter Jr., they got players. They got a good defense over there. And Jalen was able to throw the ball. So Jalen can do it. It's a matter of what are we calling? How are we calling it? When we calling it? Does it make sense? Is it creative? And does it play to the strength of your quarterback? Look, on Sunday, you know, the playoffs is just one and done. You know, because on Sunday, we watched the Commanders and the Bucks play. I thought the Bucks for sure was going to win that. They didn't. The Commanders still in it. Surprisingly, with a rookie quarterback. All you got to do is go 1-0. It don't always got to look pretty. Ain't nobody talking about Jared Goff. Yeah, he got a high percentage completion rate. Ain't nobody talking about how many interceptions he threw. 12 interceptions on the season, including regular season. Jalen has done a great job at protecting the ball recently. Little more safe. He plays things a little bit safer. Because then, if he threw a bunch of interceptions like Jared Goff, that's a surefire way to lose a game. But the Lions don't seem to, even with Jared Goff's interceptions. Because it's a team sport, and all you got to do is go 1-0. Just win the game. And granted, I get, but all that matters is the win. No one's going to remember, if Jalen wins a Super Bowl, no one's going to remember, it didn't look pretty. No, they're going to remember Jalen Hurts as Super Bowl champion. Because y'all don't remember Nick Foles stinking it up. Y'all gave that man a statue. I mean, thank you, Nick Foles, for sure. But nobody remembers those things. You remember he won you a Super Bowl. No one even remembers, and unfortunately, no one even recalls that Carson Wentz was balling that Super Bowl season. He ain't get no statue. Because all that matters is the win. The team with the least amount of mistakes and the team that wanted the most win in the playoffs. And that's point blank, period. Ooh, I'm super congested. Mm. But yeah. So a little bit back about this defense. Quinyon got his first interception. Okay, Quinyon, I see you. Quinyon is good. Howie did his big one. I do say this, Quinyon could get a little handsy. He get away with some things, but he's good. Nolan Smith. Nolan freaking Smith Jr. I am so proud of Nolan. I'm like big cousin over here. Super proud. Last season, I was like, dang, yo, like it's a lot of young guys on this defense. Nolan, Eli Ricks, Keely Ringo, like they needed guidance. They needed like real structure. They needed reps. And now they're getting them. Nolan Smith specifically. He's getting a chance. He's getting more reps. And just watching how he's developed is mind-blowing. He is showing why he was a first-round pick. I really do want to see more from Keely Ringo, though, and Eli Ricks. I would love to see more from them. I really like those guys. I don't know why, but I just think they have so much potential, and I really just want to see more from them eventually, wherever that might be, even if it's not here. My bad, y'all. Give me a second. I need a tissue. I'm just too congested. I'm back. Oh, sorry, y'all. Not feeling too great. And my body is aching. Yesterday was leg day in the gym. And I am feeling it today. That is right. But I really do like those young guys. And, I wish them all the success. Wish them all the best. But Nakobe Dean, that was a big one on Sunday. Nakobe Dean, he left the game with an injury, knee injury. And they stated that he'll be out for the rest of the remainder of the playoffs. And they said remainder of the playoffs. Like, do that mean he could come back if we make it to the Super Bowl? Like, I'm like, what kind of injury is this? Like, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But I was talking to a friend, and it seems like he's probably gonna be out for the remainder of the year, the season. Like, we ain't gonna see him again until next year. And that is a hurt piece. And you couldn't have paid me last year to tell you that Nakobe Dean being hurt would mean something to me. But this year it does. Nakobe Dean has stayed healthy this season. Let's start there. Stayed healthy. The season was looking up for him. He was really having a great season. And it was enjoyable, and it was really nice to see, because you started to think like, dang, is he ever going to live up to the potential and what we thought he could be? Because it didn't seem like it was happening. because he couldn't stay healthy. But this season, I liked what I see out of Nakobe, and him not being present on that defense definitely is going to hurt us. But Jeremiah Trotter, he is, if they put him in, he is a little Trotter Jr. And his father was a Eagles legend. But watching him play and watching him just the intensity, the excitement, the ferocity that he has every play he is out there for, which is few and far between, the potential is there. The potential is there. And I hope he balls out, and I hope this could be a good opportunity for him. But Nakobe is out for the season. And that is unfortunate. But next week, we are playing the Rams at home. They got to come through us, okay? And while I can't wait, I'm supposed to be going to dinner that day with my friend. It's her birthday, so we're going to dinner at 7:30 and the game at 3. And I'm kind of hoping it's over by 7:30. It's at 3, so it's a little bit earlier than like the 4:30 games, which end at like 8:30. So I'm hoping this one ends a little early, Because if not, girl, I'm gonna be a few minutes late, or I'm gonna be watching the game at dinner. But I don't think I will be. I think it'll be over by the time dinner starts. And dinner isn't too far from my house, so. But we playing the Rams coming up. So the Rams beat the Vikings, which not surprising watching how Sam Darnold played against the Lions. And also, they decided to bring up the record that I think the Vikings had a losing record against playoff teams. So that was foreshadowing. And the Commanders beat the Bucks, okay? Jane Daniels beat Baker. And as happy as I am to see Jaden Daniels do well, he in our division. And I don't like it. But the Commanders now will go play the Lions in Detroit, and then the Rams will come to Philly. And we beat the Rams earlier this season. And last season too, I believe. So it's possible. But I think these are a few things, and I'm going to still do my quick slants coming up later on in the week. But our rookie corners cannot get burnt and turned around by Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. It just can't happen. I need Slay to stay healthy. He got a little banged up in Sunday's game. And honestly, Slay has been playing through something and different things all season. He's left the game. He's can't come back. He's, hobbling off the field, but he's like playing through it all and been balling. But like, we got a few more games, Slay. Please hold it together, honey. I'm hoping. But if Slay goes out, Nakobe Dean being out and having two rookies at corner against those Rams receivers, I don't know. Because whenever Isaiah Rodgers come in, not that he isn't good, but he don't get as many reps as Darius Slay. Like, that really be what it is. It's like you need the reps. Like, you got to get into a rhythm. And if you not in the game often enough, you haven't been able to get into that rhythm. So it's a little bit harder. And they always go right at Isaiah Rodgers. And sometimes he pulled through and sometimes it doesn't work out. And that's just the nature of the beast. But our secondary, Our secondary is really going to have to come to play on Sunday because Matt Stafford is a heavy passing bull. Like, heavy. Okay? So we are going to have to make sure we are bringing the pass rush on Sunday. I got to see Josh Sweat. I don't know if Josh Sweat played all of the snaps on Sunday. My assumption is he did. And usually I see something from Josh Sweat. But I don't recall him much on Sunday. I also was having a good time at Chickie and Pete's, but that's neither here nor there. Going to have to get the pass rush going. I feel like our team, Vic Fangio, isn't a super blitz heavy kind of guy. But maybe against Matt Stafford and this Rams team, you need to be. Then again, Matt Stafford, like there's so much that this defense really needs to sit down and think about. Because then again, Matt Stafford, he's a taller guy, bigger guy. The blitz might not affect him at all. He'll see over all the defenders. Like that might not be what gets him shaken up. The Rams have a good running back, and I think his name is Kieran. I think it's Kieran. They have a good running back in Kyron Williams. You got two good receivers. We got two good receivers. But Vic is going to have to seriously come up with a solid game plan. They are going to be passing the ball, so the secondary is going to have to be tight, like I said. So maybe our defense can be prepared because maybe the Rams will switch it up a little bit. Maybe they're going to run the ball heavy next week. I don't know why you would against this Eagles line, but maybe you run the ball heavy. Maybe you do, instead of your deep balls, maybe you do a lot more screens. Maybe you do a lot more boots. I don't know what the Rams are going to do, but I think the Eagles need to be prepared for every single scenario because they watch tape too. They know how we coming. I know how they coming. They know I'm going to be there. Didn't Cat Williams say something like that on Uncle Shay Shay? But I'm still excited to watch the game next week. Can the Eagles beat the Rams? For sure. For sure. Do I think we can beat the Rams playing how we did last week? Yeah, I do. I just don't think Matt Stafford is going to make as many mistakes as that Packers offense made. I don't think the Rams are going to give us that many opportunities. But hell, you don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that game going to go. I hope these guys stay healthy. Oh, and the Rams are missing one of their key tight ends in Tyler Higbee. So he left and went to the hospital. So I hope he's okay. As much as I want to see us beat other teams, I never want players to get hurt. Like that is insane. Like they've got families to take care of and like this is their livelihood. So it is unfortunate to see them get hurt, but he's hurt. Who knows if he's going to be playing on Sunday? Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But if he doesn't play, that's to our benefit, unfortunately for him. But yeah, I'm excited for the game next week. I'm also excited to watch the Commanders and the Lions because that could be a good game. That could be a really good game. If we played the Commanders in the NFC Championship, that'd be insane. Honestly, it'd be insane that Jaden Daniels made it to the NFC Championship. That'd be insane. I wouldn't hate it. I wanted the Bucks to get eliminated anyway, so I was looking to see the Commanders again. So if we see them again in the NFC Championship, then so be it. But yeah. Anyway, guys, if you want, try this Italian wine from Frascati. that region in Italy, very close to Rome. If you got money, go visit. I don't know what you do. But don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tune in. Yo, I'm really like Jameis Winston out here. I be rhyming and stuff like off the dome, off the top. But tell a friend to listen, support, like, share. I really do enjoy doing this. Like, I like talking, but also I like talking about the Eagles, and I like talking about football in general. Like, I could talk about every team. I could talk about the whole NFL. I just figured, Eagles is easy because I love them. I keep up with the Eagles, keeping up with the Eagles. But yeah, see, I told you I could talk. But yeah, make sure you tune in next week after the game. I can't wait to come back, talk to y'all, chat some more, and hopefully we chatting about a win in the NFC Championship run, okay? Because that'd be exciting. Try this wine if you want. It is very much alcoholic. I don't think I gave y'all a price. I'm sorry. I do not know the price point of this wine. That is one thing I do forget to do. Look up the prices anymore. Because I told you I'll be getting them from Total Wine. But I believe this is probably a $12 bottle of wine. I'm sure it's not overly expensive. But pick it up, like, share. I'm done, y'all. Now I'm going in circles. I'm done. Thank you. Until next time. Peace out.